All right, big welcome, you guys. It is Team Tuesday Team Training Tuesday. There we go. My name is Denise Walsh. Thank you so much for popping on. I see tons of leaders on here. And you know what? I'm not surprised because, to be honest, the leaders always show up. It doesn't matter whether you're an executive who's hungry to learn or you're Chelsea promoting to promoting to presidential in the next few days. When you are hungry to learn, when you're focused on your business, when you are like working, you show up because you know there's always something for you to learn and you want your team to do the same. So thank you guys for being on with me tonight, and we're excited to have you on. So Misty, in my mind, if you're on, Misty commented that she's just a distributor. So before I move on, I'm going to comment on that because Misty, just the fact that you're on this call and you chose to plug in, to me, tells me that you have a leadership mindset. And there's two different mindsets that I look at when I'm listening to distributors, or I'm training and mentoring new people. And it's whether you have the victim mentality, like a distributor thinker, we call it, or you have the abundance mentality, which is like a leadership thinker. And the victim mentality or a distributor thinker is someone who is maybe sees the problems rather than the solution. They see the lack rather than nobody's talking to me, nobody's responding, like that kind of thing, versus there's hundreds of thousands of people in this world who haven't heard about the rap yet. There's a lot of different things that I listen for and look for when I'm working with people. And I can tell whether you've got that distributor lack mindset or that abundance mindset within the first little bit of talking to someone. Just because we kind of all come from some place. We all see the world in some way. And that can change for sure. You can absolutely, if you start in the stuck lack place, you can move and grow and become an abundant mindset thinker. But the fact that you're here, Misty, tells me that you're a leadership thinker, that you want to learn, that you want to grow, that you want to hang out with people who know what they're doing. And you want to be a part of this community. So no more, I'm just a distributor. We have to talk about that because that isn't true at all. Leadership and success is a matter of the heart. And when you decide you are, and you just kind of run for it and the success comes. So in my mind, you are a rock star. So just own it and tell everyone that Denise says you're a rock star. So you are. There you go. Okay. Well, I'm excited for tonight because it is the last week of the month. And so we have a lot of people working on promotion. We have a Thursday virtual party on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you're inviting people to that. I know lots of different teams are doing events throughout their organization to help rally for orders and get customers and boost volume, because we know that every single 400 leg counts. Now, if you are new, the reason why we have a 400 club each and every month is because every single 400 leg counts. Every distributor, every team that's at 400 for you equals a qualified leg, which helps everybody to promote. So if you're in the 400 club and you have 400 in personal volume, you're helping somebody promote. And that's really, really important. So you want to get there so you can help someone, you can teach your team how to do that, because that's how you are going to promote as well. So we are going to talk about the task force we're starting in September at the end of this call. So stay tuned to the end. But I would love to first interview somebody who has recently promoted to Ruby. Not only did she promote to Ruby, and it's not even the last day of the month, which is like a big deal. She promoted early, which is very smart. Her husband is executive, and so she worked with her team and she rallied for orders. And Joelle Salazar, are you available to unmute yourself?
Okay, am I on?
You sure are, yay!
Hi.
All right, well, big congratulations for going Ruby. You must be out west because it's not dark out.
I am in Texas.
Oh, okay, where in Texas?
I'm in, a town you would have never heard of, but close to San Angelo.
Okay, so not near Houston?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good. You look dry and so cute. Okay. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about your Ruby promotion. How did it happen? And how can, like, a little bit about your story.
Well, when this like box thing hit, and I'm new to the company. This is my going on second month, so I'm still figuring out like the bonuses and promotions and all these things. And my son is here yelling at me, so you'll probably hear him every once in a while. But when they announced that there was going to be this box for going Ruby, I was almost boxed in for Ruby, and I was like,
so I just want to make sure everyone understands. When she says box, she means the $200 gift, right? That corporate's going to send to all new Rubies. So when you heard about that gift, you were like, okay, tell me more. Okay, go ahead.
It was just an extra incentive. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Look, I'm on the phone. You're going to brush him? Yeah. We had to give our horse a bath, and he's over here helping me, so I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. This is a family business.
It is. But I heard about that box, and I was like, I think one distributor short of being totally boxed in to get to Ruby that month. And I was like, oh, I'm doing it. Like, I want whatever's in this surprise box. And I just said right then and there, I told Barbara that I was going to do it. And not once did I doubt that I was going to do it. And I think that's probably, hey, you brush him, okay? I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned is like when those negative thoughts creep in, like, had I spent this month thinking, oh, I'm never going to get to Ruby, it's already the 20th, or it's already the whatever day of the month, if I kept telling myself, like, you're not going to do it, I would not have done it. I just think that, like, when those negative thoughts creep in, honest to God, I just say, shut up and think positive. And I've just stayed optimistic. I mean, throughout the whole month, I've not, like, thought I was do it. I knew I was gonna do it, and I sure enough, like, way of the universe, like it did, things fell into place. And there were times that I probably could have easily been negative. I had a big party that I was like counting on all these sales to get there, and nobody showed up to this party. So like at that moment I could have easily thought like, oh my gosh, I knew like I wasn't going to do this, but instead I was like, this is fine, like that's no big deal. I've still got, I think I told Barbara, there are actually 31 days in this month. It's not a short month, it's a long month. Like I can still easily do it. And I think that's probably just the biggest thing is mindset. I tell everyone under me too, like, don't doubt yourself. Just have like the most optimistic mentality and stick with it, and tell those negative thoughts to shut up and go away, and just keep your mind as just positive and like knowing that you can do this as you can.
Absolutely. Do you guys hear her abundant mindset, her leadership mindset that we just described? How many of us had a party this month where maybe nobody showed up, or a call where somebody didn't respond? How many people messaged somebody and they didn't get back to you, right? We all have that. And even Joelle, who's been in the business 2 months, who promoted to Ruby in her first 2 months, had that, but she made the decision. So first you dreamed, you decided what you wanted, you dreamed, you got your mindset in check, which we always say this business is 80% mindset, 20% skills. But then you got to work. You didn't just like sit back and wait for it to come to you. So what did you do on a daily basis to take action towards your business?
Sorry, I muted you for a second. For the first part of the month, I was probably going about my normal routine. Like every day I'm going to add 10 people. I'm going to reach out. I have this message that I think I'm at the H's in my friends list on Facebook. And it's like, hey, I realized today I have over 1,000 friends on Facebook. And what's the point in us being Facebook friends if I don't know anything about you? Would you care to tell me a little about yourself? Like maybe where you're from? And I mean, I've gotten so many responses to that, and girls that I still talk to, like not about the business, just talk to. And that was kind of my daily routine. Like I'm going to send this message to honestly, I tried to get through one letter group a day because you'd be surprised how many H's there are in your friends list. But that was like my daily routine. But then when this last like 2 weeks of the month hit, I take that back, maybe like the last week of the month, these last couple days, I just felt like this drive, like I need this many hundred in sales, and like I've got to step it up and do it. And I started sending a message to all of my maybes, which there's so many maybes always. I started sending a message like, hey, I thought about you today. I'm wondering if there's any way we can get your order in for some hair, skin, and nails. I'm so close to a promotion this month, and I'm wondering if I can count on you. And like, it was only to the strong maybes. The iffy ones I didn't send it to because I didn't want to turn them off for later. So it was the ones that had told me like, yeah, I'll order tomorrow. Like, so I went ahead and sent that to a bunch of people. I reached out to neighbors who I had been scared to reach out to. Like, I had told myself, I don't want to be that like salesperson next door that you don't even want to walk out of your house in case I'm out there, you know? So I just thought like, you know what? I'm selling something that would benefit them. So why not ask them? And so I did. I talked to my neighbors. I got out of that fear out of my mind. I probably put in more hours, honestly, on my phone. This last like week, I just really put the pedal to the metal, and it's kind of addicting. Like, I'm kind of thinking like maybe I should spend 2 days a week in that like pedal to the metal mentality and see how far that gets me. Like, I think I've found a whole new level of how hard I can actually like go with this, you know? And so I'd say that's a big part of it. Comfort zone. I know you'll always say that. Like, I didn't even realize that I still had such a big one. But and I found like I said, talking to people I was scared to talk to and calling people I was scared to call. I just felt like I have nothing to lose. I want that box so bad. I have nothing to lose. And I just think that from now on, I'm probably going to go into everything with like, I have nothing to lose. I have so much to gain. So I think that's like this whole month. And it's cool that we do these bonus type things, like whether it's a box, or I know at one point there was like $500 for going Ruby, or like, it's so cool that we get the incentive to want to drive like that, because you find it in yourself. And then once you've found that, like I said, it's kind of addicting. You're like, well, I mean, how hard do I need to try to go emerald? And you know, so I think that this last part of the month has like revealed some stuff to myself, and it's all about pushing your limits. And yeah, you know, sometimes you don't want to be on your phone all day, every day. But when you have such a big goal in mind, it's okay, you know, 2 days to add to your work hours and put in the overtime as if you had a job you were putting overtime in. So I think I answered the question. I kind of just ramble sometimes, but
you are amazing. Yeah, I hope you guys took some notes. And, you know, a lot of times we think we're working hard. You know, have you ever thought, man, I talked to everybody, and you're like, how many people have I really messaged? 10. Like, we think we're working hard, but when we really put the pedal to the metal, like Joelle mentioned, there's a whole nother level that's within us that you don't even know that you have until you have a reason to go fight for it. You're stepping outside your comfort zone. You're making things happen. You're not just waiting for business to come to you, like posting once and like waiting for people to message you. You are going after it. And that's where you truly find what you're made of. You know, that's when you dig down deep, you know your why, and you do it more than you ever thought possible. And when you do that, you break through your own glass ceiling, where you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I was capable of that. But that's how momentum is created within your team. When you are so focused in one direction that life can happen, relationship stuff can go on, your kids can be sick. And we're not saying to like put your business Sorry, people keep calling me. We're not saying to like put your business in front of your family, like, or, you know, that kind of thing. But what we're saying is that don't use life as an excuse to get you to where you want to be. Because if you want to be somewhere and different in the next year, you're going to have to do something different. The same thing over and over and over again is called the definition of insanity. And so Joelle said, all right, for a season of time, for the last week of the month, I can push harder than I ever have to get the results that I've never gotten. And she did, and she has, and she promoted on the 29th or maybe even 28th of the month, even with a few days left to spare. So now the cool thing is not only did she promote to Ruby in her first 2 months in the business, she is going to earn that $200 gift from corporate, right? Like, that's awesome. And what I think is even more awesome is that she's going to be able to go live on Facebook and open it. She's going to be able to take pictures of it. She's going to be able to market the fact that she's experiencing success in her first few weeks, that corporate is rewarding her. You know, like, all of this stuff has more than one reason, you guys. It's not just about and I mentioned this before, like, I really like winning stuff, not just because I like to win, but because, well, I do like to win. Sometimes I forget what I win. I just like to win. But I also like to do that. I like to, like, you want to show people that you're winning. Okay, if that makes any sense. Like, you want to use it as a reason to network or as a reason to market. Take pictures of your Ruby box, and that you can put that as your, you know, cover photo and on Instagram and things like that. So just think of the multiple ways you want to earn this $200 gift. I'm just thinking outside the box. It's not just, it's about the gift, but it's about more than the gift. So big congrats to Joelle, because you decided at the beginning of the month that you wanted it. You believed that you could do it, and you worked your booty off until it's happening. And so now the goal is to duplicate that down within your team. Teach them the skills that you did. I hope you guys heard she messaged everybody in her Facebook. She didn't just think that they saw her post. Have you ever done that, where you think, oh, I posted on Facebook, everybody knows I'm going to Africa in October? Well, if you didn't know I'm going to Africa in October, then you're not seeing my Facebook, right? And because I posted about it several times, and there's a lot of times we post and we think people have seen it when they really, really haven't. And so she's reaching out to every single person on her Facebook, one letter at a time. And I know I'm going to get this message. So if Joelle, if you can post it in the chat, or Barbara, if you can post it in the chat, what you're saying to those people, that would be really cool. And it's just about, why are we Facebook friends if we don't know each other? Tell me about yourself. How are we Facebook friends? Where are you from? Etc. And then and it's because she's been doing that consistently that she now has this list of maybes that she can go to and say, hey, I'm close to a promotion. Will you be willing to help me? People really do want to help, and it's more important to us than it is to them. So for them to know that we have a deadline is powerful. People do want to be helpful. I'll order something if it's going to help you. I don't know if I really need it, but I will order it, and yeah, let's do it. And then, of course, you follow up with them afterwards. So big congrats again. And for those of you who are not yet Ruby yet, that was the goal at the beginning of the month. I want you to think about a few things. Number one, did you decide at the beginning of the month that this was what you wanted? Number two, did you believe that you could do it? Like, did you fully, like, with a shadow of a doubt, know that you were going to hit this goal? You were just waiting for the how to show up. I don't know who my customers are going to be, but they will come, right? And then did you put in the extra effort, find that fire in your belly, like get that hustle on for you to achieve those goals? And if not, there's still time. We've got a few days left at the end of the month. I know people who have rallied $3,000 in volume in just a few days when you're working within your team. So you can absolutely do that. We have to decide, you have to believe it, you have to commit to it, and you have to hustle for it. And then just go for it. So Thursday is the last day of the month. We are doing a virtual party that day that you can invite people to help with that volume. Okay, one other thing before no, I'll do this afterwards. So Barbara, I'm gonna have you go next, and then I'm gonna share about our Action Academy after you. So Barbara has recently gone to a training, and if you were on our call last week, you heard the stuff we did about learning how to tell your own story well. And this is just another cool exercise that go ahead, Barbara, you explain it.
Okay. Thank you, Denise. Joelle, awesome job. I'm so excited for you. Thank you for sharing your tips with everybody. So kind of this isn't as long as, you know, what we did last week, but this is really a good, I think, topic to kind of bounce off of what you were talking about, and kind of having that abundant mindset versus what Eric Worre calls minimum disease. Okay, so he talks about minimum disease in network marketing, and really like the point of what I'm going to tell you from my notes is mainly because I want you to recognize it. I want you to recognize it in other people, and I want you to recognize it in yourself. So he basically talks about like when you're talking to people and recruiting people, you want to assume success, and you want to assume success for yourself. You know, so when the beginning of the month starts, you want to assume that you are going to do better than last month. You're going to want to assume that you're going to promote in a rank. You're going to want to assume you're going to assign, you know, this many people, rather than being okay with the minimum. You know, like being okay. My check was was fine. I'm fine with the way that my check is. I don't need to add any more people. So when you kind of find clues of minimum disease, that you want those to like pop out, and you want to just bust that out so that it's not part of what your mindset is, and it's not part of who you're recruiting. So when you're bringing people on, an example of like minimum disease is someone that says, what's the minimum that I have to buy? What's the minimum that I have to do? What's the minimum I have to order? Okay, so you want to assume success, and you want to replicate that down within your organization. When people sign, you want to boost them. I mean, the company has the boost kits for a reason. It's to fill the 400 boxes in volume. And I'm telling you, I know there's people on this call right now that are probably 200 BB away from a promotion, 400 BB away from a promotion, maybe 4,000 BB away from a promotion, but across, you know, your whole organization. If you can find ways now to instill more of an abundance mindset with people, to where they are teaching people to boost when they come on, they are teaching people to run your auto ship, you know, when they come on board as a new distributor, that volume will end up filling itself if that's taught from the top down. So we don't want people coming in that are like, what's the minimum I have to do? Be a loyal customer then. That's the minimum that you have to do, and then you don't have to do anything except order some products. You want people on your team that have that abundant mindset where they know, okay, I'm going to spend this, and I'm going to make this, and I'm going to bust my ass to get there and do whatever it takes to get there. That's the type of person that you're looking for, and that's the type of person that you want to be. Like, you want to be that for yourself, and you want to start every morning assuming success, that you are going to win the day no matter what happened yesterday. You are going to have that abundant mindset and just do one more thing every day instead of the minimum, or one less thing today than you did yesterday, because what you did yesterday may have not worked for you. Couple things from my notes. He says, you know, will people do as you say, or will they do as you do? So when you're talking to people, bringing them on, telling them, you know, what you're doing every month, what you're spending every month, what your goals are every month. You want to be real with people, you know, and if you are doing very little, or if you're doing the minimum, or if you're telling everybody you don't have to order anything, you don't have to run your auto ship, you don't have to do this, you're going to see that that's what you're bringing in, and that's what's kind of trickling down through your organization. So you want to make sure that people understand that they need to use the products. They need to be a product maniac, a brand ambassador of It Works. And if the products don't change their life, this business probably won't either. And that impacts your paycheck a little bit in the beginning when you're just signing up, you know, one person. But when you're bringing in 10, 50, 100 people, think about that mentality. If you're teaching that throughout your whole organization to be using the products, that's really going to boost your volume up, and you're going to see those rank promotions happening much more frequently and much faster. You know, the company created those boost packages for a reason. They created the auto ship for a reason. So you want to really make sure that that's part of the culture of your team. He says, this is one thing that kind of I wrote down and I highlighted it. When the price of entry is so low, then the price of exit is low. Like there's no risk, you know what I mean? So people come in. We just had 240,000 distributors pay $10 to join. There's no risk for them. You pay $10 and whatever, it's $10, or pay $100 and okay, it's $100, most businesses to start at a very minimum, you're looking at, I'm talking a traditional like brick and mortar, you're looking at like 65 grand as an investment. We went around the room and he asked people, stand up, if you're a business owner, how much did you spend? How much did you invest? There are people in there, $100,000, $200,000. And their businesses, and they failed. Some of their businesses failed and they came back to network marketing. There's so many companies where you have to pay like $500, $1,000 to join, and with It Works, you're looking at $100, $250 if you boost, or a little bit more. In the big picture, that's nothing compared to so many companies, which on the one hand makes it easy for people to say, oh, it didn't work, I'm not out so much. So when you're bringing people in, you want to really have that assume success mindset with them. And you want to get them going right away so that they start making that money back and that they can see how important it is if they put in the effort, message more people, one more person, add, a little bit extra time, fit more time in here, get this done so that way, they're seeing that abundant mentality, and that's kind of what they feel like is expected, rather than like, oh, it's okay, don't do that. You don't need to run your auto ship. Go ahead and, order this, and then, don't worry about running your auto ship anymore or whatever. Like if that's kind of like the status quo, and if that's what's okay on your team, you're going to feel that big time, months and years to come. So I love that price of entry is low, which means that the price of exit is low too. So it makes it really, really easy. You want people that are going to put some skin in the game. All right. When you got some skin in the game, and that's money. Sometimes that's, money is skin in the game because they need to make that back. I think that the least amount of options that people have, the better. Because like Eric was saying, when he started with his business, he did not have any other choice. Like he had to make it work. He was in debt like 50 grand. He owed the IRS a bunch of money, and he didn't, he had a family. Like he did not have a choice. He had to make it work. And he talked to us about how a lot of times people come in and they have too many choices. So when the going, when it gets hard over here, they're like, oh, I'm just not going to do that anymore. I didn't really spend much getting in, so I'm just not going to do it. It's easy for me to quit. So again, like releasing that, minimum, what's the minimum mindset, encouraging people to put more skin in the game will make it more difficult for them to just walk away from it because they want to make that money back. And there's more of a commitment for them. And then I think the last thing he talks about is like, become a raving fan of the products, use the products every day. He says that there should be a baseline in your life to when things became better because of these products. And, having that type of a mindset will make you an ambassador for the brand of, the company of It Works for those products. And he says to really just kind of focus on that and have the mindset of abundance. I'm going to just do a little bit more. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to get one more person. I'm going to message one more person. I'm going to try one more product this month than I tried last month. Will take you in a much further and bigger direction than having that mindset of, I don't need to do that. I don't, people don't need to do that. And he says that minimum disease will just spread through your whole team, and it's definitely not what you want to do. So those were the notes that I wanted to share from that day today.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Miss Barbara. I love your wisdom. And what you'll find, you guys, is like the more you do this, the more of your own stories that you'll have. And over the past few weeks, I decided that I didn't just want to have a Black Diamond story. I mean, we've built 2 teams to presidential. We're working on our 3rd team to go, or no, 2 teams to ambassador, Brandon, myself. We've got our 2.0 that's triple, working on presidential. Like, we want to keep creating these stories. You don't just want to I just don't want to be a one-hit wonder, right? I want to keep doing this and keep remaining relevant. My red pouring out. But you want to have that, I don't even remember where that came from. Goodness sakes. Okay. The point of the story is that you want to create your own abundance stories. You want to create your own stories, just like Joelle, who said that party that I expected to get $500 in sales flopped. But instead, this person ordered, and I didn't even expect it. You want to have those own stories where you said 11 o'clock, the last day of the month, I got a $200 order that was totally random, came out of nowhere. Like, those are the success stories that you have when you're fighting and working towards promotion. So every day, are you asking yourself, what do I want? Why do I want it? Am I willing to do the work that it takes to get there? And then as you're doing the work to get there, these things will just start showing up in your path. That minimum disease reminds me of the word just. Like, oh, it's like saying, I just ate a brownie. Why did I not lose weight? Like, I just had a whole bottle of wine. Like, why am I? The just, like, we got to take that out of our vocabulary. It is or it isn't, period. We're either working our business or we're not, period. You're either like focused on your goals or you're moving backwards, period. And when you get that mindset from your head to your heart, it's like game over, and you will achieve your dreams. And you want to continue to create those stories in your life. So the example, I remember where I was going with this now. The example I wanted to share with you is that I've decided that I want to continue to create these stories in my life as well. I don't want to just be like, oh, cool, like, how's it going, everyone, hanging out. I want to create or continue to grow and to create new life experiences or whatever. So I've been dreaming myself. I've been deciding things myself. I've been doing myself. I've been working on things and focused and excited and whatever. And today I just got the opportunity to work side by side with John Maxwell, and I'm going to meet him in a few weeks in Florida and be mentored by him. And that was something that honestly fell in my lap. And I say that because it wasn't on my radar a week ago. But today I got an email, and like one thing leads to another, and it's not spam, which is what I really thought it was. And the how just shows up. And these are the types of miracles and things that'll just, like, as Joelle said, the universe just kind of brings it to you when you make that decision. So I've got to keep dreaming bigger. I've got to keep doing more. I've got to keep deciding what I want and moving for it. And you do too, because it's in creating those success stories yourself, those abundant stories, that your belief is going to grow, and you're going to be able to pour that within your team. 2 more things before we end tonight. The other one is, as Barbara mentioned, when people have too many choices, isn't that interesting? As soon as there's a roadblock, as soon as there's a bump in the road or a no, or nobody likes my picture, or, all of that kind of stuff, it's so easy to back out. It is, because quitting is easy. Honestly, in my opinion, that's why there's like a 1%, a 3% that make all the income. Like, no, most people are not willing to push and go the extra mile. They're more willing to just give up because that's easier. That's always the easier thing to do. We are working with volunteers. All of our team, all of you, myself, we're all volunteers within this business. And a lot of times, we're not making money right away. I wasn't. It took me a year to go diamond. And so what kept me in the game as a volunteer, when I had a full life, right? I was working full time. I was involved in activities. I was not coaching. I was a youth group leader and did on the volleyball team and doing all these things. But what kept me in the game? The thing that kept me in the game, and I would challenge you to figure this out for you, is community. I had friends here. And I knew that if I didn't show up, they would notice. And I want you guys to know that too. If you don't show up, you will be noticed. We will call you out, and we will say, Amanda, where are you? You're supposed to be on this call. You know, you will be noticed. You will be missed at the team trainings. It was the fun that we were having before we were making money. And it was because this business was connected to my purpose, to my passion. I was passionate about it because I was passionate about health and wellness. I was passionate about helping people grow and become their best selves. And I realized I could do that within this business. So when you're connected to your purpose, connected to your passion, when there's a bigger reason outside of yourself to do this business, you will plow through those hurdles. You'll go ask your neighbor, even though you're nervous, to become a customer and try hair, skin, and nails, or whatever the case may be. And so because we're working with volunteers, it's our job as leaders, as enrollers, as partners within the team, to create that community and to help people connect with their why to increase their passion. All right, last thing before we go is, because I had a call with John Maxwell today, which was so cool. If you guys don't know him, read, what's my favorite? It's like the 12 leadership, someone posted in here. Leadership rules, I forget. Levels of leadership, laws, 21 laws, that's it. Thank you. I need to brush up on my John Maxwell before I take a picture with him in a few weeks. 21 Laws of Leadership is a classic leadership book, and it is something everybody needs to read, honestly. It really is. There's that, and like the Jack Canfield one, Success Principles, they're classics for a reason. Think and Grow Rich, like all those things. Anyway, on his call today, we talked about the halftime report. Like, it's halftime, looking back over the course of the past year and reflecting on how you've done. Have you made movement? I didn't say hit your goal, but have you made movement? Have you made progress? Have you made changes? What have you done over the past year so far? And then what can you adjust or do differently over the course of the next 6 months? Pre-game, if you're thinking of college football or basketball, the pre-game meeting is where you say, all right, this is how we think the game is going to go. This is our game plan, right? And then at halftime, you come back in the huddle and you say, all right, how is it going? Is it working? Am I doing what I need to do? Am I hustling? Do I believe? Am I growing? All that kind of stuff. And so today on our John Maxwell halftime call, we talked about how to do your own halftime coaching adjustment. Are you on course? Are you off course? Because we know that in order to experience any sort of success, you are going to grow your way there. And so I challenge us all this week, maybe not this week because it's month end, maybe like Labor Day weekend, the 1st through 4th, take some time to reflect, take some time to really look at this past 6 months. Where do you want these next few months to go? And what are you going to do differently in order to make it happen? This is the difference. So many people are living life just letting life happen. But the difference between you and everyone else is that you're learning how to take life by the horns and design the life of your dreams by taking it in, like taking your thoughts captive, deciding on what you want to focus on, and then moving in that direction. So we have been doing that as leadership, for the first 6 months of the year, as presidentials and above, as double diamonds and above, we all did this together, but we worked a task force together every single month, January through June. And then we took a break in July and August. July, we had June green carpet, which sent us into the crazy $10 enrollments where we all had a lot going on in July and August. And we have now decided to come back together and form the Action Academy, which is our new task force starting in September. What this is, you guys, is just a way for us to help teach you how to fish. Our goal is to not just give you script after script and say, go do this. Our goal is to help you build more following, create your own brand, start creating momentum within your own team. We don't just want to give you fish, we want to teach you how to fish. So this task force is going to be less about post this and more about build relationships here. And just continue to expand your network so we can expand your reach. So if you want to be a part of this task force, this is going to start the Tuesday right after Labor Day. We're going to work on it throughout the weekend. We are going to do Monday power hours consistently at the same Zoom room. We are going to do Tuesday night team calls consistently every Tuesday, 9 p.m., Monday at 8 p.m., Tuesday at 9 p.m., and then Thursday team parties. But we want to teach you how to do your own virtual parties as well. You're going to have a challenge to do your own live party, all that kind of stuff. So all of the Double Diamonds and above are pulling their resources and their wisdom together to pour into you. So my question to you is, are you going to decide, just like Joelle, that you want it? Are you hungry? She wanted the Ruby kit. She wanted that gift to be sent to her house. She decided she wanted it. She decided she was going to do it no matter what it took, that high belief, and did not waver throughout the month despite any negative fears. And then she just got to work. So if you have a goal burning in your heart, burning in your belly, and you want support along the way, the Action Academy is going to do that. Our job, honestly, we cannot take responsibility for your business, period. Your upline can't, your downline can't, your sidelines can't. Like, nobody can be responsible for your business because nobody cares more about it than you do. But what we can do is we can lock arms together. And the goal of the Action Academy is to help provide action and to help provide accountability. So you know that you're in this alone, or not in this alone. So you know that you're not in this alone. So you know that when you show up, people will notice. So you know that you will be recognized for your hard work because you've got a community of movers and shakers that are partnering with you. So with that being said, if you have any topics that you would really like to learn more about, and don't necessarily say like how to get more customers and distributors, because that's the whole point of it, is to help you get more customers and distributors. But if there's anything specific that you're interested in learning about, please post in the comments here or get with your Double Diamond and above leader. I'll make sure that we include that in the Action Academy. We're thinking of accountability partners. We're thinking about just, again, ways to create that community and get everybody connected to, the movers and shakers connected so everybody can grow together. So, all right, online wrap parties, Alexis says, yes, we're going to be doing online wrap parties every single Thursday, and our goal is to teach you how to do it too. Crystal says charting 101. We can do that. Absolutely check my YouTube channel for some charting videos that we've done in the past, but we can put that on our radar as well. Verbiage, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So if you want to be a part of it, get on your team page, let them know that you want to be added, and Presidentials and above are going to work on the calendar this weekend, and it's going to go live on the 5th. So with that being said, go to Joelle Salazar's Facebook page, show her some love, show Barbara some love, and let them know the aha moments that you had from this call. And I am going to end with a quote. Adriana says she doesn't have with the team, or if you don't have a team, that's good. You can, okay, Adriana, if you are on this Zoom, that means you found out about it from somewhere. So you're on somebody's team page. So you can message me and we'll figure out whose team you're on, because you are absolutely on a team. You found out about this Zoom. So someone told you about it. Don't worry. We'll get it figured out. And just so you guys know, these are always uploaded on Facebook or on my YouTube channel afterwards. So you can, everyone wants to claim you now. They're like, oh, be on my team. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to try to randomly pick a quote from the success little mindset thing. And here is one from John Maxwell. So I'm going to do that because we just talked about him today. Again, the book is 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And the quote says, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. It really is see, do, teach. You see it, you do it, you teach it. And that's how you continue to learn as well. So thank you so much for being a part of this tonight. Have an awesome night, and we'll be back here same time, same place next week. Bye.